Hello, humans. I wanted to share something that I learned as usual. Um, did you know that you can be addicted to things that aren't drugs or alcohol or pornography or sex? Um, you can be addicted to a feeling. Did you know that? I didn't. I didn't. It was quite a revelation for me to find out that we can be addicted to a feeling. You can be addicted to feeling angry or feeling miserable or annoyed or worthless. And so I'll tell you an example. So let's say you wake up one morning and you happen to it happens to be on the wrong side of the bed. Okay, so you are a bit annoyed. Okay, you tell yourself, "I am annoyed. This is gonna be a terrible day." You get dressed and you have your breakfast, brush teeth, all that jazz. Okay. And you get in the car to go to work. And it just so happens on this day that somebody drives terribly. And they cut you off. And you're like, yeah, of course it's going to happen today. It has to happen today. And while you're driving, you think of that person at the office that annoys you or has the tendency to annoy you, and you're like, this person is going to annoy me. I'm so ready to tell them off today. I'm ready for it. And you work yourself up, you psych yourself up. You're telling yourself, I'm going to be annoyed. So your brain tells your body, we are annoyed. And your body releases chemicals to say to your brain, yes, we are annoyed. Let's do it. On the way, you stop at a coffee shop and you order your regular thing. And the uh, what do they call, the barista takes 3 minutes longer, just 3 minutes longer to make the thing, and you're like, of course, today you're gonna take so long to make my coffee, and you get your coffee and you carry on driving to work, and you still in your head saying, that person is gonna annoy me. I know it. I'm ready for them. And you get to the office and you walk into the office and you're going there. You're barely greeting people. Just people are greeting you with cheery, "Hi, Justin," and you hello, yeah, hello, and you go about your day and you're working and everything seems to be going wrong. And at the end of the day, you notice you had a terrible day, and you're like, yeah, of course, I knew I was going to have a terrible day. And then you think, that person that I was ready to fight with, that was supposed to annoy me today, they weren't even in the office. And then you realize, oh, I was annoyed because I decided that I was going to be annoyed. Your body released the chemicals that makes you angry because you said, we are annoyed. I am annoyed. And the person that was in quotes the result, or the not the result, the cause of your annoyance wasn't even in there. They didn't even exist in your day. You were annoyed the entire day because you told yourself to. And we do this to ourselves because we can get addicted to feelings. The feeling that I was addicted to was a feeling of, let's call it ambient anger. So I was just slightly angry with life all the time, wondering why people didn't um, treat me the way that I wanted them to treat me, why they did this, why they did that. And when I found this out, I realized, oh, you're addicted to this feeling, Justin. And I decided, no more. I won't be this way anymore. And it took a few days before I was no longer addicted. Like my wife would do something. So really, it's not even something to be closely or even mildly annoyed at. And I would notice. So this is after I made the decision to say, I'm not going to be addicted to feeling annoyed and angry and frustrated anymore. I would notice that my body would feel funny. And I would sit and I would think and sit with that feeling, and I'd notice, oh, this is what my body feels like or felt like when I was frustrated or annoyed or angry. But I'm not actually annoyed. Why is my body doing this? Oh, because something happened that I would get annoyed at in the past, and my body thinks we're supposed to get annoyed. Wow. So once I noticed that I got annoyed, that the feelings in my body couldn't tell my brain, because the two, body and the brain, work together. Your brain can tell your body, listen, we are annoyed, we are angry, and these are the chemicals you need to make. And the body says, yes, let's do it. Here are the chemicals. We are now annoyed. Or your body could just be responding on autopilot, because we've got this muscle memory stuff. Your body can be responding on autopilot, and it's like, oh, that happened. We're supposed to be annoyed. Release the chemicals. And then your brain's like, oh, the chemicals that say we are annoyed or angry have been released, so we are annoyed. But when you take a moment to stop and say, I will no longer be addicted to that. I am in control of what happens in my head. Um, you will just notice, like I did, my body released the chemicals. This feeling that's in my body is because I'm annoyed. So it happens when I'm annoyed. Oh, okay, wait, stop. I'm not actually annoyed. Thank you, body, for doing that stuff on autopilot, for trying to make my life easy, but we don't respond to that anymore. Those things, I used to get annoyed at it because, for whatever reason, um, that's not even something to be annoyed at. I don't want to be addicted to this feeling any longer. So we can be addicted to feelings. And like with any addiction, when you stop or when you break the habit or the addiction, you change to a healthier way of living. And it feels wrong at first. I bought an ergonomic mouse. Yes, look how weird this mouse is. It doesn't lay flat, it lays sideways. Anyway, so I bought an ergonomic mouse. For the longest time, I've been using a flat mouse. Okay. And it's not terrible for your wrist, and it didn't hurt my wrist, but my wrist got used to working like this when our wrists are supposed to be like this. Okay. This is how our wrist naturally rests on a table, not like this. Anyway, so when I started using it, I was like, this feels funny. My wrist is sore at the end of the day. And I was like, wait, that's not right. And then I realized, oh, it's because my body has adapted, or my wrist has adapted to working incorrectly, as in like this, that now it doesn't know that this is the way it's supposed to be. So this feels funny. It feels wrong. It just needs some time to readjust to the natural way of being. So as you go about today, think about, or just even notice, just noticing. That's the first step. Just notice what feelings you might be addicted to: feelings of unworthiness, feelings of annoyance, feelings of sadness. Um, just notice what you're addicted to. Um, and then make the decision to sit with that feeling and look at why. Is it valid that I'm feeling this way? And remember, your mind will give you reasons for something. If you say, I want to be sad, your mind will find a reason for you to be sad. This is its job. It is a fantastic servant, a terrible master. So pay attention to what you're doing. But anyway, think about and take note of what you are feeling today. Sit with the feeling, take a few breaths, think about, is this what I want to be feeling? Do I want what happened to be able to control me? Is this actually something to be annoyed, sad, angry about? Um, and then make the decision to do something about it. release it, change the situation, or even just change the feeling. And remember, when you start doing this, it's going to feel funny. It's going to feel weird because you've trained your body and your mind and your brain to work in a certain way that's not natural. So you're changing it back to the natural way of working, and it's going to feel funny for a while. It's like when you have a stone in your shoe, you're walking on it for the whole day, and then you finally take your shoe off and you let the stone go. You can still feel it pricking on your heel, and for a while when you're walking, it's going to hurt. But it's only for a little bit. The stone is gone, and it will soon get back to the natural way of feeling, to the natural way of walking. One last example. I had a stone in my shoe, and um, wait, it was actually a thorn in my foot, and it was a very light pain, just gentle. And I was walking around with it, and I walked, and I got rid of it, but the pain was still there because there was still a part of it in my foot. So I walked and I walked, and then 2 days later, I noticed that there was a pain in my knee also, and I had also grown tired of this thorn in my foot. So I looked at the splinter in my foot. I took it out. Finally, saw this tiny splinter, and when I took it out, there was instant relief in my foot, and I carried on walking, and it was great. But the pain in my knee was still there. And I looked at what was happening. And then I noticed that while the splinter was in my foot, I was keeping my foot at a weird angle so that I wouldn't put pressure on the ball of my foot because that was where the splinter was. And because I was turning it wrong, it affected how my knee was moving. And my knee was in pain because that wasn't the way it was supposed to work. So these small things that we think are insignificant change our entire outlook on life. But when we take that tiny thorn out of our foot, that tiny splinter, it fixes the pain in our foot immediately. Feels a little bit weird still, but it starts healing. And then all the other parts of our lives that were affected by that tiny thorn start healing as well. So when you take the thorn out, when you decide to no longer be addicted to the feeling or the emotion, and you make the change, it's going to feel a little bit funny, but you'll notice that immediate um, the things in the immediate vicinity will start healing, and then other parts of your life will start feeling a little bit uncomfortable too, but they will start healing as well. So choose to free yourself from the addictions that you've encumbered yourself with. And that's what I had to share with you today. I was very excited by when found out that we can be addicted to emotions, and I decided to free myself. You can decide. You can free yourself too. All it takes is paying attention to the feelings that you have.